appointment of Prosecutor General. Clause 19 removes the requirement of the President to appoint the Prosecutor General on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission. The rationale is such an arrangement creates potential conflict of interest where the Commission recommends a candidate for appointment. Political rights of traditional leaders. Clause 20 repeals Section 281 of subsection 2. It violates the political rights of traditional leaders. The Code of Conduct of Traditional Leaders shall be provided in an Act of Parliament. This message was brought to you by the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services. Be part of the process. Ensure Zimbabwe's progress.
Download the TM Pick and Pay app on Google Play and App Store and enjoy fantastic online deals. TM Pick and Pay, real value always. It's time for the news.
Greetings and a warm welcome. This is a live broadcast of the Sunday edition. We're live at the Hill in Pocket Hill Highlands, Harare, the capital city. I am Lee Ann Bernard.
And I am Yvonne Mukondani. Thank you for joining us. Susan Masona gives us the news in sign language. These are the headlines for tonight. President Mnangagwa steers Zimbabwe into global leadership matrix.
In our This and That feature tonight, Kwekwe Polytechnic develops a Masao processing machine.
And in sport, Hard Rock FC back on top after 3-0 triumph over Simba Bora.
In showbiz, Zimbabwe crowns 7 queens in historic pageantry milestone.
Those were the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The President, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, continues to steer Zimbabwe into the matrix of global leadership, with the country's influence in the world politics set to reach new heights later this year when the head of state takes over the chairmanship of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA.
Now the development comes as Zimbabwe won a non-permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council in New York, USA last week. Panashe Ngoli reports.
On the international front, our party-led government remains anchored on the philosophy, a friend to all and an enemy to none, as we advocate for multilateralism, shared development, sustainable peace and security, as well as uninterrupted global supply chains.
Well, Zimbabwe under the Second Republic continues to position itself as a critical and influential voice in regional and global politics. And for President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa himself, his leadership has been characterized by nothing short of various triumphs for the country in the region and beyond. Now, during Dr. Mnangagwa's tenure as SADC chairperson between 2024 and 2025, Zimbabwe's influence on the regional landscape was strongly felt across the socio-political spectrum, with Dr. Mnangagwa leading diplomatic engagements meant to find lasting peace in the DRC and other countries. Now, Zimbabwe has ridden on this experience in its successful bid to secure a non-permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council, and with its influence set to be felt on a global level during the 2027-2028 United Nations Security Council term. More is set to come as President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa is set to assume COMESA chairmanship from his Kenyan counterpart, His Excellency William Ruto, in October this year. Now, for international relations analysts, Zimbabwe's growing global influence is not by coincidence, but is rather a testament and a result of Dr. Mnangagwa's domestic success.
It is the domestic setup that then creates a positive image outside. So if you look at the opening of the democratic space within the country, if you look at the improvements in terms of development. If you look at how Zimbabwe has committed itself to all the development goals that had been set by the United Nations and the African Union, it is for that reason that then Zimbabwe has become a place where many nations want to see how a nation that for a considerable period of time has been a victim of economic underdevelopment has become also a center of political gravity within the region, within the continent, and at a global scale.
Political scientist Mr. Richard Mahomba says the strategic recalibration of the nation's foreign policy framework by President Mnangagwa has gained Zimbabwe much-deserved respect from global powers.
Thanks to the foreign policy doctrine of our country, which was launched by His Excellency the President, which was speaking to a policy knowledge gap that Zimbabwe endured for close to 3 decades. With that reconfiguration, with that reformation in the architecture of our diplomacy, Zimbabwe can be safely described as the orbit of African diplomacy, given that when we occupied the chairman position of SADC, we produced the historic resolution that resulted in the joint SADC and Eastern Bloc summit, which in a way created a landmark de-escalation of conflict in the DRC.
Out of a possible 190 votes, Zimbabwe garnered 182 in New York last week, a nod of confidence in the country's ability to meaningfully contribute in the United Nations Security Council. South African international relations expert Dr. Levi Ndou said the expectation is that Zimbabwe will ensure that the voice of SADC is heard in the body.
For Zimbabwe to be there is significant in the sense that the voice of Zimbabwe, the voice of SADC, is going to be heard. Zimbabwe is known for its boldness and indeed venturing into spaces that other countries would avoid to venture into. And I think for the first time, in a very, very long time, Zimbabwe should also raise issues that would talk to the restructuring of the United Nations Security Council.
Now, the Second Republic continues to implement what many may view as a diplomatic masterstroke, the friend to all and an enemy to none philosophy, working hand in glove with the engagement and re-engagement foreign policy stance, which has been credited for the nation's growing influence on the global arena. Panashe Nagoli, ZBC News, Harare.
Economic analysts say Zimbabwe has defied global shocks driven by prudent fiscal and monetary policies, with stable economic conditions expected to be sustained during the second half of this year.
One of the country's economic think tank, that is the Africa Economic Development Strategies, AEDS, has released its first quarter review of the country's economy. We spoke to the executive director for the AEDS, Professor Gift Mugano, who said that the economy is showing promising signs of growth.
The first quarter of the year has shown that in terms of foreign currency receipts, we've hit $5 billion, which is way higher than the same amount of the foreign currency receipts received in the first quarter in 2025. 2025, we hit $3.2 billion. This quarter, $5 billion. That's massive. Right, in terms of revenue generation to Treasury hit $2.5 billion, above their target of $2.4 billion. And Treasury is targeting a budget of $9.3 billion for the end of the year.
An economist, Dr. Zeka Murerwa, also provided insights on what is needed to take Zimbabwe's economy forward during the second half of this year.
We managed to achieve single-digit inflation in the first quarter, and this actually has helped this economy to stabilize, because what we have now in place is that despite the macroeconomic fundamentals that we were subjected to external shocks, so we managed to contain the impact of the threat of inflationary aspects pertaining to price increases.
Treasury is expecting Zimbabwe's economy to register at least a 5% growth by end of this year, from over 7% in 2025. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the launch of the presidential borehole scheme in Bulawayo Cowdrey Park has excited residents who have hailed the development as a transformative. Our assistant news editor, Mhlomeli Ncube, reports.
The Second Republic has developed a multi-pronged strategy in the quest to end perennial water shortages in Bulawayo. This Saturday, in Ward 26 of Cowdrey Park, a newly commissioned borehole system was unveiled, much to the jubilation of the residents.
Iphogama namhlanje ngibona kubambana njalo ngibona ubuhle ukuthi iZimbabwe kusasa ibe ngapi.
Tujana kulumba kaphathi ku program eyayitika sunu yakayetegwa id Mnangagwa wa president besu okuno Cowdrey Park nkuthubede twabona menda.
While Bulawayo has grappled with water shortages for years, government has been channeling short, medium and long-term solutions. In both the political and public leadership, the clarion call has been that all Bulawayo residents must work together in the development agenda.
Yataba mbona umeya, my brother here is called Ibaza. He is here today. Kuratiza kuti kana tabatana mvura inouya.
The presidential borehole scheme is being implemented under the leadership of Presidential Investment Advisor to the President, Dr. Paul Tungwarara, who urged Bulawayo residents to rise above political differences in the national development agenda.
Pasina mari, pasina shuga. Asikuna arungofara zvakadaro. Taona vemachechi vari kufara. Havasi kunyara nezvinamato zvavo. Vari kufarira president wavo zvakadaro. Saka nhasi ndati hapana speech. Ndatopedza zvataita zvatokwana izvo. Zvataita zvatoendwa izvozvo.
The solar-powered borehole has two 5,000-litre tanks supplying water to the community, while the nutrition garden will utilize the same water source. Mhlomeli Ncube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The spilling of the Bubi-Lupane Dam in Matabeleland North Province is beginning to transform Lupane district into a tourism hub in an area traditionally characterized by limited economic opportunities.
The spilling of Bubi-Lupane Dam this summer, only the second time since its commissioning in 2012, is expected to ensure reliable and uninterrupted water supply to the town of Lupane. Authorities say the improved water levels signal a turning point in addressing persistent water challenges in Lupane.
The filling up of the dam on its own, it's a welcome development, as it will also assist in terms of the Lupane local board, the area, the town itself, which is the provincial capital of Mat North, in terms of provision of water to the citizens of Lupane, because they draw water from that dam.
We have Lupane, our provincial capital. Upcoming, we have our members of the community, residents who are here. They will have plenty of water to use.
For Zinwa, the development opens up opportunities for expansion.
The spilling of the dam is a very positive development, as it strengthens the water security position for Lupane town, who rely on the dam for their water requirements. This improved water security position unlocks socio-economic development in Lupane through water reticulation extensions.
Beyond domestic supply, Bubi-Lupane Dam also provides irrigation water to the Bubi-Lupane Irrigation Scheme, one of Matabeleland North's flagship agricultural projects, further enhancing food security and livelihoods in the region. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Lupane.
Indigenous churches continue to pray for wisdom as the debate continues on the Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill continues in Parliament. Gathering at various places in and outside Harare, members of various indigenous churches, denominations rallied Zimbabweans to remain focused on supporting the development trajectory that the country is on.
With the parliamentary debate on the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill expected to resume this week, members of the Apostolic Sect said they will continue to intercede for calm dialogue, unity and stability during the constitutional review process.
Nyika ino yeZimbabwe yakadiwa na Mwari. Vari kuparliament ngavatange vatungamidza Mwari, vataure vazive zvido zvaMwari. Amendment bill No. 3 chipo chatakapuwa munyika yedu ino yeZimbabwe kuti Zimbabwe isimuke iende kumberi. Mwari ndopa akuratidza basa rake rekuisa runyararo kuti nyika yese igove nerunyararo. Timirire zviri kubva zvakagarwa zvakapepetwa nevana veZimbabwe. Zvaenda kunogarirwa muparliament zvakapepetwa zvikasungwa nevana veZimbabwe.
Congregants highlighted that they were praying so that the amendment process will be guided by wisdom and respect for all citizens.
Tinovimba nedare reparliament kuti pavachagara vachitsigira chirongwa ichocho chichabudirira chichitungamirirwa neizwi raMwari nekuti chakauya neizwi raMwari.
Tichinamatira amendment bill No. 3 kuti ifambe zvakanaka.
Cable 3 zvayava kuparliament ngaibudirire zvayarongwa nezvairi kuita ngazvirambe zvichita mberi.
Tinofanira kutsigira utungamiriri hwekutonga kuti tigone kunamata zvakasununguka.
Similar prayer gatherings have been held by other faith groups, the emphasis being on national cohesion and peaceful resolution of all matters before Parliament.
Elsewhere in Chitungwiza, the National Convention of the Zion Bishops' Conference of Zimbabwe saw the church leadership acknowledge the development trajectory of the Second Republic, adding that it is on this basis that they are supporting the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill.
Hurumende yedu iri very proactive. Irikugadzira ma-roads zvinomwisa mvura all over. Pane ma-roads arikuratidza kuti improved noda kwehurumende ya His Excellency. Even currently pane bill irikuitwa riya re-CAB 3, Constitutional Amendment Bill No. 3. Yes, it's a progressive bill.
Government acknowledged the role of the church in spearheading national development.
Churches are found within communities. So we got to be with our people wherever they are, supporting the programs in whatever way they should be running the programs. We are not only supporting by just being present, we also actually supporting by way of screening the ideas and obviously guiding them in terms of all the developmental programs and projects that they'll be having.
Now, similar prayer gatherings have been held by other faith groups, the emphasis being on the national cohesion in support of national development.
Bulawayo residents have been encouraged to continue supporting the Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill, which is currently before Parliament, with the proposed legislation being described as a key instrument for consolidating gains made under the Second Republic and accelerating the country's development agenda.
Addressing party supporters during an interface with the ZANU-PF Women's League held at Stanley Hall in Bulawayo this Sunday, ZANU-PF Deputy Treasurer General in the Politburo, Professor Mthuli Ncube, commended residents for their continued support of Constitutional Amendment No. 3 bill, saying the proposed legislation is aligned with efforts by the Second Republic to strengthen governance systems and create an enabling environment for sustainable development. He noted that the overwhelming support being shown by communities reflects growing confidence in the leadership of President Emmerson Mnangagwa and the country's Vision 2030.
Ama-debates eParliament ahamba kuhle, labana be-opposition sebesapota, kuhamba kuhle sibili ngemfanelo. Siza kufuqa kuze kuyefika emaphethelweni. Ngibona ngani sizaphumelela. Laba bathi khona ukuthi umongameli ukhethwe ngabembe leParliament awuhamba le democracy abayazi into abayikhulumayo. Yiyo manje idemocracy naleyo. Kuyahambelana le democracy ngoba members of Parliament babevele be-electwe ngabantu, bekhethwe ngabantu in their democratic expression. At ngiyalibonga ngokusupporta uCAP 3 ngicela njalo ngithanda ukuthi ngilikhuthaze ukuthi umongameli simchayele ihlombe uComrade Dr. Edi Mnangagwa for the successful election of Zimbabwe onto a non-permanent seat ku United Nations Security Council.
In a gesture aimed at strengthening community welfare initiatives, Professor Ncube donated towards community burial societies, saying such grassroots structures play a critical role in promoting social solidarity and supporting vulnerable families during difficult times.
Thina njengabomama beZANU-PF sithanda ukubonga ngezipho esiziphiweyo, izipho eziqhakathekileyo empilweni zethu. Namhla sifuna ukubonga as chair ladies of DCC1 ngezinto siziyenzeleyo lo baba uMthuli. Ubaba uMthuli siyambonga kakhulu because usiphathele izinto zonke.
Sisithi zonke lezi zipho esithe sazithola namhlanje zizakwanisa ukuthi sichase laba abathe baswela bebuye kithi sikhululekile ngezandla zonke ngoba akula muntu ozasala engancediswa ngaphakathi komphakathi wethu welizwe leZimbabwe.
The engagement forms part of ongoing efforts by the ruling ZANU-PF party to strengthen community participation in national development programs as Zimbabwe advances towards attaining an upper middle income society status by 2030. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Meanwhile, the ruling ZANU-PF party affiliate group, the Musicians for ED, has held the ongoing debate in Parliament regarding the Constitution Amendment Number 3 bill, citing its objectives of strengthening governance systems and guarantee policy continuity.
Affirming their strong commitment to rally behind ZANU-PF's resolutions through a music concert at Habani Stadium in Esikotin this Saturday, musicians from different genres in Matabeleland South Province delivered top-notch performances.
Kuhle kakhulu ngoba nabalandeli sibabiza babuya bazokufakaza ukuthi sibone imisebenzi esenzani indaba sicela ukuthi sixhaswe indaba sicela ukuthi besisize besicela ukuthi size ngenxa yokuthi kukhona esikuphetheyo ukuthi siyamobilize ukuthi abantu bebone ukuthi ugovernment wethu masisebenzisana naye kukhona okuningi esingakuthola kukhona okuningi ongakuphumelela futhi simxhasa ugovernment ukuthi ama-projects onke ayenzayo maqhubeke.
46th independence celebration lakathi semaphisa were included as musicians for ED were part of i-program leyana njalo 70% bongama-artist awemathebeleland 70% sakubona ukuthi upresident Emmerson Mnangagwa is leaving no one and no place behind.
As we are launching this showcase, we want to be recognized, we want to be used as the voice for ibandla lethu sisupporta futhi bill number 3.
The Minister of State for Matabeleland South Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Albert Ngulube, took the opportunity to encourage youths to pursue their careers free of drugs and substance abuse.
We'll do our best to assist you to achieve what we want to achieve as musicians of Matabeleland South.
The Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill is currently under debate in Parliament. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Umzingwane.
Culture and tradition have been identified as localized shields against drug and substance abuse as they promote core values of community accountability, strong moral upbringing, and healthy alternatives.
Traditional leaders in Mwenezi East are working together with the political leadership to fight against drug and substance abuse, especially among youths who are being mostly affected by the scourge. They believe cultural practices and traditions practiced in their villages have helped to instill a sense of purpose and identity among the youths. Apart from culture and traditions, sport is also being used to keep the youths busy.
tiri kumutambo webhora hatina nguva yekuita madrugs tinenge tichikurudzirana zvakanaka nekuti kana pane anenge ane chipo chake chekutamba bhora kukauyawo vekunzewo kuvanouya kuno vouyawo vosimudzirawo zvipo zvedu.
The local political leadership says unity of purpose against drug and substance abuse will not only protect the youths but will also propel development in communities.
Timaproject ama-VB yu anombobuya kuno haadi vanhu vakadhakwa anode vanhu vari sober saka mutemo wama-chiefs nama-villages edu uri strict panyaya dzekuchengetedza vana.
Tinonzwa kufara nichiona kuti kuno kumamisha madrugs haasati avako zvekudaro saka tiri kupanana yeuchidzo kuti takatarisana nedenda iri zvakanaka kuti tipe neurudziro kuti vana vasaita madrugs.
In Zimbabwe, issues related to drug and substance abuse are coordinated through a multi-sectoral approach combining public health and strict law enforcement. Key initiatives include the Zimbabwe Multi-Sectoral Drug and Substance Abuse Plan 2024 to 2030, the establishment of a dedicated enforcement agency, the opening of numerous rehabilitation centers, and targeted border control operations. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Mwenezi.
More than 70 Zimbabweans have been repatriated from South Africa through the Beitbridge border post as government continues to assist citizens who wish to return home. Let's hear more.
Zimbabweans repatriated this Sunday through the Beitbridge border post have applauded government's intervention to prioritize their safety amid fears of xenophobic motivated attacks in some parts of South Africa.
We thank the government of Zimbabwe. They have helped us with a bus to come home. And now we are here. I'm happy. I am home, alive with my children.
Embassy ndiyo yakazotitumirawo bus kuti tinge tiri panapa nhasi.
Ndinoda kutenda embassy nekuti gamushira zvakanaka. Vatibata sevana vavo.
Ende tasingazivi chine hurumende chi zvikati pano but ike zvinoita kuziva kuti hurumende inoshandei ende hurumende chi ngozi yakasangana nezvakawanda zvatasingazivi.
Government and its developmental partners managed to offer immediate psychosocial support to all who were received through Beitbridge border posts as they safely proceed to their homes. The repatriation of Zimbabwean nationals also follows similar processes by other African nations, including Ghana and Nigeria. Aifeli Mudau, ZBC News, Beitbridge.
Meanwhile, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has warned South African nationals against taking the law into their own hands, but allow government to deal with illegal migration issues in the country. In an address to the nation this Sunday evening, President Ramaphosa said migration is a global phenomenon that should be dealt with in accordance with national and international laws.
We must recognize that illegal immigration is not the cause of all our economic challenges. There are other causes. The answer must be faster economic growth, greater investment, industrial expansion, infrastructure development, and the creation of millions of new jobs. We must be concerned that anti-foreigner sentiment is at times accompanied by tribal and ethnic slurs, insults and attacks aimed at other South Africans. This is not acceptable. We expect foreign nationals who are here to respect our laws. We therefore need to respect them as well. But they must respect the laws of our country. As government, our objective is very clear. We want a South Africa where every person who enters the borders of our country does so lawfully. We want a South Africa where immigration laws are respected and enforced. A South Africa where businesses compete fairly. A South Africa where communities feel safe and secure. And a South Africa that remains true to its constitutional values and its commitment to human dignity. We intend to achieve this objective by implementing the following measures, amongst others. Firstly, we are and will continue to crack down on the violation of our immigration, labor, and other laws. Secondly, we will continue to prevent people from entering the country irregularly and illegally. Thirdly, we are and will continue to stamp out corruption in our immigration system. Fourthly, we will strengthen our immigration laws and policies. And finally, we will continue to engage other countries, including our sister countries on the African continent, to forge a broader response to migration challenges.
South African President there, Cyril Ramaphosa, speaking. And now for more news, you can always follow us on our social media platforms. It's good to see that the Instagram viewers followed us last night and told us where they are watching from. Shanice Antrisel, all the way from Eastern London. And not forgetting our local viewers on our Facebook page as well as on our X page. We are also on TikTok as ZBC News Online. For more news, stay tuned after these short messages.
The voluntary disclosure opportunity is open to taxpayers who may not yet be fully compliant with their tax obligations. This includes unregistered businesses, informal sector operators, online and digital service earners, trusts, rental income earners, transport and taxi operators, as well as virtual asset traders. Take this opportunity to regularize your tax affairs before the 30th of June 2026 and move forward with confidence. Step forward, disclose, comply.
The future of broadcasting is here. As technology transforms the way we create, distribute, and consume content, Zimbabwe's broadcasting industry must innovate, collaborate, and adapt. Join broadcasters, policymakers, regulators, content creators, academia, technology innovators, investors, advertisers, and development partners at Zimbabwe's premier broadcasting industry gathering. Engage in critical discussions on artificial intelligence, digital transformation, content innovation, audience engagement, media sustainability, content monetization, platform governance, and the future of broadcasting. Be part of the conversation shaping Zimbabwe's media future. Annual Broadcasters Conference 2026, shaping the future of broadcasting. This message is brought to you by the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe in collaboration with the National University of Science and Technology.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The Zimbabwe Defence Forces continues to sharpen its operational capabilities and human capital in defense of the nation's territorial integrity, following the graduation of 69 commissioned officers at the All-Arms Battle School in Nyanga.
The 69 graduates comprised the 39 lieutenants who successfully completed the platoon commander's course, alongside the 30 captains who graduated from the advanced company group commander course. Guest of honor at the event, Zimbabwe National Army Chief of Staff, General Staff, Major General Josephat Kudumba, implored the officers to uphold the highest standards of discipline, loyalty, and patriotism.
It is important to note that the training program you have just completed was specifically designed to develop your technical competence, confidence levels, and the initiatives in complexities associated with wartime exigencies.
The commandant of All Arms Battle School, Colonel Samson Murombo, highlighted that the rigorous curriculum left no stone unturned in testing the officers' mental fortitude, physical endurance, and tactical decision-making capabilities under high-pressure scenarios.
Today marks yet another significant milestone in our enduring quest to impart professional skills, knowledge, and leadership competencies to officers of the Zimbabwe National Army.
Meanwhile, such programs by the Zimbabwe National Army underscore the Second Republic's ongoing commitment to building a highly professional, versatile, and modern defense force capable of overcoming both conventional and asymmetric security threats. Gay Matambo, ZBC News, Nyanga.
The transformation of risk management from a mere compliance function into a critical pillar of national economic stability took center stage at the Risk Officers Convention 2026, which concluded in Nyanga this Saturday.
The high-level Indaba brought together chief risk officers and senior executives from across the country's financial, insurance, and corporate sectors to deliberate on strengthening institutional resilience in line with government's vision to foster a robust and shock-resistant economy. Under the Second Republic, delegates at the convention emphasized that proactive risk management is essential for sustainable development.
As chief risk officers, both from the public sector and from the government, we are gathered here to bring our minds together and discuss on what we should do as chief risk officers and how we can impact our organizations.
Our aim is to say, fine, let us start understanding our business operating models. Then we move from there and say, fine, how do we build in all our risk universes to understand what are those risks that affect different institutions in a different way.
Risk management has been quite vital in the market to assist us to be resilient and also to focus on objectives that make sure that we achieve our objectives in a smart and sustainable way.
The gathering comes at a crucial time as the country accelerates its socio-economic growth under national development frameworks.
High risk management matters. It protects public resources and reduces waste. We have a constitutional imperative to have efficient use of public resources. It strengthens governance and oversight. It improves service delivery.
The risk executives concluded the convention with the unified pledge to enhance cross-sector collaboration and data sharing. Gay Matambo, ZBC News, Nyanga.
The private sector has been ready to continue investing in the education sector as the country journeys towards the attainment of Vision 2030 of an upper middle income society. This comes after 40 less privileged learners from Charles Rath Primary School in Shurugwe received an education boost from Chingetai Investments in Shurugwe District.
The cordial relationship between government and its development partners continues to transform formerly marginalized communities, as seen by the handover of learning materials, equipment and education scholarships to 40 learners at Charles Rath Primary School in Shurugwe by a local mining giant.
It will actually improve our pass rate. Our learners would need to write, they would need to study, they would also need to cover books. So really it does improve their pass rate.
kureva kuti ramangwana reshurugwe ramangwana renyika yedu yeZimbabwe rinenge rakajeka. Vana ivavo vabetsereka vadobetsera kunyangwe kuvabereki vavo.
Chengshi Chengetai Investment Safety Health Officer Mr. Tafatswa Banga said the gesture aligns with the National Development Strategy 2 NDS2, which prioritizes improvement of learning standards, education quality and overall academic performance.
If children get education, it means they are able or they are better in the industries, they are better in the future. If you leave them without necessary tools, without necessary information they need to have, it means we are killing their future.
Government continues to create a conducive environment for learners by facilitating modernization of educational facilities as part of efforts to improve access to quality education. Karejushes, ZBC News, Shurugwe.
That report taking us to a break. We will be back with more. To stay with us.
The Ministry of Local Government and Public Works, through the Liquor Licensing Board, is inviting physical planners, health directors, or relevant representatives from all local authorities to stakeholder consultation workshops on the review of liquor licensing legal framework and processes. The objective of the workshops is to review and revise downwards liquor licensing levies where applicable, streamline licensing procedures and processes to improve efficiency, and enhance ease of doing business and compliance for operators. On 8 June 2026 at Fairmile Hotel in Gweru, on 10 June 2026 at Rainbow Hotel in Bulawayo, on 12 June 2026 at Clavers Hotel in Mashingo, on 15 June 2026 at Golden Peacock in Mutare, on 17 June 2026 at Rainbow Towers in Harare. For further details, kindly get in touch with our Principal Regional Inspector, Mr. A. Dube, on 0774 989 724 or 0718 687 714. Your active participation is critical as we work together to create a transparent, efficient, and business-friendly liquor licensing framework. The Minister of Defense, Honorable Opachamu Jipange Muchinguri Kashiri, Deputy Minister of Defense, Brigadier General Retired Honorable Levi Maislome, the Secretary for Defense, Comrade Aaron Daniel Tonde Nepera, Commander Defense Forces, General Emmanuel Matatu, Service Chiefs, General and Air Officers, Chief Director, Directors, Senior Officers, men and women of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and staff of the Ministry of Defense wish to congratulate His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, and the nation at large, following Zimbabwe's overwhelming election as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for the 2027 to 2028 term. The historic achievement is a resounding endorsement of Zimbabwe's principled diplomacy, commitment to multilateralism, and steadfast contribution to the promotion of international peace, security, and cooperation. The overwhelming support received from the international community reflects growing confidence in Zimbabwe's constructive engagement in regional and global affairs and affirms the country's enduring commitment to the cardinal principle that Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none. This milestone is a testament to the success of the Second Republic's engagement and re-engagement efforts under the able leadership of His Excellency, the President, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. It further recognizes Zimbabwe's long-standing commitment to the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, peaceful coexistence, and the peaceful resolution of disputes, as well as its contribution to regional and continental peace and security initiatives through SADC and the African Union. As the world confronts evolving security challenges, Zimbabwe's election provides an important platform to advance Africa's interests and contribute meaningfully to global peace and security deliberations. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope, Ministry of Defense, guaranteeing peace and stability for the attainment of Vision 2030.
You're still watching Sunday Edition. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the traditional Thanksgiving ceremony in the Shona culture extends far beyond mere Thanksgiving or a celebratory drink. It is the vital medium used to commune with ancestors. We get more in our This and That feature for tonight.
With the new generation believing that rainfall patterns and good harvest depend on climatic conditions, in Rishabane, the elderly here under Chief Masunda believe that for them to have good rains, a rain-making ceremony known as Mukwerera must be conducted. After posting a good harvest, a traditional beer known in Shona as Doro Rematendo, meaning the Thanksgiving ceremony is brewed, it holds significant value to the community community as people get to properly thank their ancestors for answering their good rains prayers. At the helm of the clan is Chief Masunda, who explains the cultural nature of this ceremony.
Kuchivanhu chedu tinofana kuti tinokumbira mvura kumasvikiro edu nguva nemisi. Saka kana takumbira mvura nguva nemisi zvakafanana nezvakaitika izvozvi takakumbira tikapuwa mvura yakauya, kana titaura nechekwedu tichiti mvura yakauya negate guru. Saka ndapuwa mvura negate guru seizvo zvakaitika izvezvi tinenge tichisungirwa kuti titende kuti takaiona mvura yacho, kuita kuti patinokumbira ivavo vagone kutipa nokuti vanoziva kuti isu tinotenda nokuti tinenge taona.
In this day and age, new generations think this is just but a piece of history, yet a conversation with the traditional leader stresses a different subject altogether.
Vana vedu vamunoti ma2000 iwaya varoda kungoisa kuti nyati yagara inobvunzwa kune vari kumberi. Kana vakaona isu tichiita izvi, isu tichitevedzerawo zvatakaona vadhara vedu vachiita, machembere edu achiita, ivo ngavatevedzere zvatiri kuita isusu, nokuti ndo kune chiraramo ikoko. Saka ngavangoziva kuti uzive zviri mberi, bvunza vari mberi.
This is an ancient way, but talking about village business units and saturated land is timeless enough to make people realize that surely with age comes wisdom. Myth or fact, one might wonder, but what is certain is that members of this community only know this way of life as the normal one and are not willing to look beyond.
Tiringofunga kuti mvura inongomuka yakangonaya, mvura inomuka yakangomira, asi aiwa kune vari kunyika dzimu vanotiturira mvura iyi kuti tikwanise kurima nokukohwa zvakanaka.
What is undeniable is that the celebrations and cultural practices have stood the test of time, and the show goes on.
We move now to our science and tech feature tonight, where Kwekwe Polytechnic has come up with an innovation poised to transform rural livelihoods through beneficiation and value addition of indigenous fruits. Now, the traditional fruit processing machine is set to unlock economic opportunities for communities endowed with naturally occurring fruits such as the masao. Let's take a look.
For generations, indigenous fruits such as masao have been consumed fresh or left to perish due to limited processing options for the rural folk. Kwekwe Polytechnic has, however, developed a masao pulping machine designed to separate the fruit seed from its pulp, creating opportunities for value addition and commercialization in an efficient manner. The pulp can be used in the production of juices, jams, and other food products, while the seeds have potential applications in medicinal and industrial products.
It separates the seed and the pulp for masao. So it's like what happens is after putting it inside jam, the seed is removed from the pulp.
Currently undergoing testing and fine-tuning, the machine forms part of the institution's industrialization agenda aimed at providing practical solutions to community challenges.
We have tested it. It's operational, but we need to do a bit of some adjustments before we actually roll it out to get our electricity from what? From solar. So it's just a matter of mounting batteries and everything, but actually the machine can also operate on what? On solar.
As Zimbabwe intensifies efforts to modernize agriculture and promote value addition, innovations such as the masao pulper are expected to contribute towards rural industrialization, job creation, and commercial utilization of indigenous resources, demonstrating how science and technology can accelerate rural development. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Kwekwe.
That innovative note taking us to a breather. We'll be back just now.
And just remember, it's football, not soccer.
Welcome back. Now in Sports Buzz, Hard Rock FC returned to the top of the Casolaga Premier Soccer League table following a commanding 3-0 victory over Simba Bora at Chawanda Stadium this Sunday.
The vibrant atmosphere engulfed Chawanda Stadium as Hard Rock were back at their hunting ground. This was complemented by a strong security presence, ensuring a smooth matchday experience. Hard Rock rose to the occasion in style, with Warriors forward Washington Navaya grabbing a first-half brace to put the host family in control. Samuel Makawa then added a cushion goal to seal a memorable victory for the league newcomers. Despite the contrasting fortunes, both coaches found positives in their team's performances.
Overall, in terms of performance, I'm not worried, but I'm very, very disappointed with the scoreline. Scoreline is very, very disappointing. They're looking good to soldier on. Still 18 games to play.
We responded quite well, scoring 3 goals. It shows how much depth that we have in the team. We made 3 changes in the team. It also showed us that we still have guys that can come.
The victory propels Hard Rock FC to the summit of the league table on a superior goal difference, adding another exciting twist to an increasingly competitive title race. Elsewhere, Caps United edged ZPC Kariba 3-2. Manica Diamonds and Dynamos shared the spoils in a thrilling 2-0 draw at Sakuva Stadium, while FC Platinum secured a 1-0 victory over Triangle at Kibo Stadium. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Kwekwe.
You can almost feel the thrill right here in studio. Still in football, Casolaga Premier Soccer League side Tel One have invested in junior football development after entering into a twinning arrangement with Mambo High School in Gweru and launching a football academy aimed at nurturing the next generation of talent.
The club has taken a major step towards strengthening its development structures through a twinning arrangement with Mambo High School in Gweru. The partnership has given birth to the Mambo High School Football Academy, which will provide young players with an opportunity to combine academic studies with structured football development. Under the arrangement, Tel One FC will deploy qualified coaches, provide training equipment and kits, while creating a pathway for talented players to progress into the senior team.
Vasocha minuka vachatuma vakomana majunior coaches achanga achibatsirana nematicha panapa kuti vadzidzise vana unyanzvi hwekutamba bhora kune vana vane talent.
Muchiri pano pachikoro munenge matotanga kuita maartisans emutambo webhora. Kureva kuti uri pano pachikoro unogona kutenge watova nepayslip.
The launch forms part of the club's 10th anniversary celebrations, with the club also unveiling its new playing kit. The colorful kit launch adds a sense of optimism as the club looks beyond current challenges, having already changed coaches in the first 10 league matches, and focus is on building a sustainable future through youth development. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Gweru.
On a sad note, Zimbabwean boxer Ndodana Ncube, who died in South Africa last month, has been buried in Hwange, Matabeleland, North Province this Sunday.
Ndodana Ncube, popularly known as the Black Hammer, has been laid to rest here in Takazwipila village in Jambes under Chief Shana. Ncube's death has been described as a tragic loss that has cut short a promising boxing career.
Kari sikwenza boxing yakhe indawo eHwange so inza ubuhlungu kakhulu ndahlekele kakhulu umntaka malumami.
Atoke bakalingirira kuti kwai vana bedu kana tubazekuru bedu vachatobera mwavatoba kuti kwai nasu tibone kuti kwai tavana magamba anotasaiye.
Former coaches and colleagues described Ncube's passing as a major setback for boxing development in Zimbabwe.
It has shortchanged our growth as a club because we produced a number of
boys, and Ndodana was now on the pitch.
The loss to the Ngube family is a loss to the boxing fraternity.
The South African and Zimbabwean boxing authorities have applauded Zimbabwe and South Africa for the collaboration during Ndodana's illness in South Africa and his repatriation back home.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the government of South Africa, the Minister of Sport from South Africa, the Boxing Commission in South Africa. Thank you very much for the support you have given to our boxer, Ndodana.
Such passing is an interception of a story that's still unfolding. Ndodana, we had hoped for more out of him.
We had delays in his repatriation. We had challenges that we faced, the South African side attributed to some industrial action that was taking place, I'm told, with their doctors. So because of that, we could not have a post-mortem done, and his body could not be repatriated because a death certificate ordinarily could not be generated without having a post-mortem report.
Ndodana Ncube is survived by his wife, Tatenda Magorokosho, and a month-old son, Ndodana Jr. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Wange.
Such a young soul lost there. May your soul rest in peace. Now, the Atlas Lions of Morocco are on a mission to prove that their semi-final appearance in Qatar in 2022 was not a fluke, as they head for the 2026 FIFA World Cup to be co-hosted by Canada, Mexico and the United States of America.
The men in red and green shocked all and sundry by becoming the first African team to storm into the semi-finals of the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Into the 2026 sporting fiesta, the Atlas Lions are viewed as history makers capable of upsetting any team on a good day. For the 2026 edition, the Atlas Lions will be hunting down one objective of proving to doubting Thomases that their semi-final appearance was not a fluke. Morocco are pulled in Group C alongside Brazil, Scotland and Haiti. They have played and won against the South Americans, although it was a friendly in 2023. Coach Mohamed Ouabi has returned the core of the team that made the semis 4 years ago, bringing on board 7 of the players, including Captain Akram Hakimi and seasoned goalkeeper Yassine Bono. Blending experience and youthful talent is expected to drive the Atlas Lions' mission of being counted among the world's football powerhouses. The Atlas Lions begin their campaign against Brazil on 13th of June, followed by their second match against Scotland on the 19th of June. They wind their group stage matches with a contest against Haiti on the 24th. Mtogoz Dube, ZBC News.
That's it for sport. And now in showbiz, Zimbabwe has made pageantry history after crowning 7 queens who will represent the country on 7 international platforms following a glittering Miss Universe Zimbabwe finale held in Harare on Saturday night.
Glitz, glamour and national pride took center stage at the Hippodrome in Harare as the Miss Universe Zimbabwe organization crowned 7 queens who will carry the country's flag onto the international pageantry stage. At the end of the night, Rosanna Hall emerged as Miss Universe Zimbabwe 2026, receiving the crown from outgoing Queen Lashanda Moyes. She will represent Zimbabwe at the Miss Universe pageant set for Puerto Rico later this year. The organizers also crowned 6 other queens, with Virginia Nyambe taking the Miss Intercontinental Zimbabwe title, Jemima Mandemwa being named Top Model Zimbabwe, Ruvimbo Njomboro crowned Miss International Zimbabwe, Nicole Nyawera winning Miss Supranational Zimbabwe, Malaika Mushandu taking the Miss Cosmos Zimbabwe crown, while Brunette Makhanyiso would represent the country at the Miss World.
This platform is more than a pageant, it's a national asset. It contributes to tourism, elevates our cultural identity, and positions Zimbabwe women on the global stage.
It's a platform that empowers young women to become leaders, advocates and ambassadors for positive change. It nurtures confidence, celebrates diversity, promotes service, and provides a powerful force for women to aspire and to make a meaningful impact to their community and beyond.
Government also held the growth of the pageant, describing it as an important vehicle for youth empowerment, cultural diplomacy, and national branding.
Development is not only measured in GDP, but it is the confidence of our youth, the vibrance of our culture, and the strength of our unity.
It is a showcase of Zimbabwean excellence
culture and the immense potential of our young women. Platforms such as this play an important role in advancing youth empowerment, promoting our cultural identity, and positioning Zimbabwe on the global stage.
Adding flair to the spectacular event were electrifying performances by Atenda Shinks, Nati O, Doro Shewe, and visiting Nigerian Afrobeat sensation Fireboy, whose appearances kept the audiences entertained throughout the night. The event also showcased Zimbabwe's rich cultural heritage, blending fashion, music, and tradition in a celebration which saw 18 participants battling it out for 7 crowns. Patience Nyagata, CBC News, Harare.
Well, kudos to the 7 queens who were crowned there last night. Bulawayo arts and entertainment lovers celebrated culture and storytelling through music, dance and film this Saturday.
The Bulawayo Arts Festival ended with performances by Vuyo Brown at City Hall before attention shifted to the Zimbabwe Music Academy for the premiere of Madam Boss movie Becoming Madam Boss. Dancers and artists entertained guests outside the academy before the screening.
Every time we tell our stories, we build skills, create jobs and prove that Zimbabwean cinema deserves a seat at the global table.
The host, Tyra Chikosho, aka Madam Boss, acknowledged the people in Bulawayo for their love and support.
To all the fans, my Bulawayo fans, you have no idea how excited I am. At first I thought, Bulawayo, no one will come. Because a lot of people will be like, Madam Boss, the people in Bulawayo, it's cold, they will not come. But you are here just to support me, to support my journey.
Inside, audiences watched a story filled with laughter, tears, and inspiration. For many viewers, the movie was a story of resilience and hope.
Mina ngikholise kakhulu ngokubukela umdlalo kaMadam Boss. Ngifunda izinto eziningi kakhulu, njalo ngisithole ngikhala, ngisithole ngithokoza and ngibona ngani umdlalo lo ubungumdlalo oyimpumela njalo ubungumdlalo omnandi.
Mina into engifundile lapha ukuthi melanga ukuthi bengathi hayi akuyenzi ubuso wena uthi hayi akusayenzi uchiya into yakho nxa ulephupho lilandele iphupho lakho lize livuleke.
Namhlanje sikholisile sifundile ukuthi singaqala ungalalutho ugcine sile something ngento encane enjengokubonakala efonini nje yikho sikufundileyo la.
The premiere of Becoming Madam Boss left many inspired and showcased the strength of Zimbabwean storytelling.
Well, congratulations to Madam Boss. Now, Harare held its final round of the provincial Chibuku Neshamwari Traditional Dance Festival competition this Saturday, with various dance groups lighting up the capital with color, rhythm, and cultural pride.
Groups from across Harare battled for top spots, showcasing Zimbabwe's diverse dance heritage, including Mande, Mbira, Mbagumba, and Jerusalem. The provincial competitions serve as a gateway to the national finals scheduled to take place on the 11th of next month. For the dance troops, the competition is a platform to celebrate national identity.
Performa mutambo wedu unonzi chinyambera, mutambo wekuvhima, vakadzi vachipemberera nyama, kuratidza vechidiki vari kukura vasiyane nezvemusombodhiya vafarirewo chinyakare chedu.
Mutambo wekuchedza vadzimu, kumutsa vadzimu, tinonyanya kutamba mutambo pakuita rain making.
Lero tinari kuvhina guru wamukuru wachewa, guru wamukuru ochokera kuMalawi, traditional dance. So tinayamba kare kuvhina guru ameneyo. Tikufuna kuti Mulungu atitsogorere tipfike kutsogoro ndigure watu.
Mutambo watatamba isusu unonzi Mbagumba, unobva kumaSvingo province. We have a celebration dance. Tinenge pemberera gore redu ratinenge takohwa.
Shingai Dance Group emerged the overall winner for its Mbakumba performance. On second position was Emuchongoyo Showcase from Pasigare Dance Group, and Karinga Zova's Chinyambera Dance settled for third position.
The message from Wera Spark is clear. Traditional dance is not history. It is alive, competitive, and proudly Zimbabwean. Festus Mkunguru said, ZBC News, Harare.
Now the weather report and forecast courtesy of the Meteorological Department Services up next.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast of Papanjura. Looking at some of the conditions that we had, we had rain showers over the northeastern parts of the country due to moisture from Zambia into Mashonaland West, Harare Metropolitan, as well as Manicaland provinces. However, the falls were below 8 millimeters in most of the areas, with just a bit of hail and cooling conditions over the southwestern parts of the country. However, that moisture over the north has drifted into Mozambique. We were expecting less in terms of cloud in the next few days, but however to the southwest we're still expecting those clear skies to lead to very cold morning conditions. Wet this morning, we had frost over areas such as Matopos with about moderate frost of 0 degrees, whilst Gwanda had 1 degree Celsius, and Plumtree as well with slight ground frost. We're still expecting those low temperatures, especially over the southwestern parts of the country. We were expecting single digits, but for the rest of the country it should be in the cool category, becoming mild over the Zambezi Valley, and by afternoon we're expecting 30s over the Zambezi Valley, whilst much of the interior is above 25 degrees by the afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Thus for Bulawayo we're expecting a maximum of 27 degrees, rising to about 28 tomorrow. Morning temperature about 8 degrees for tomorrow, rising to about 10 as we get into Tuesday. And for Matopo we're expecting 28 also for a maximum on Tuesday, but for tomorrow it's 8 and 27, making it rather cold in the morning. It gets cooler by afternoon. Around Wednesday we're expecting a maximum of about 26. Same for Gwanda, falling to about 23 on Wednesday, with morning temperature about 9 for tomorrow, rising to about 25 by afternoon. For Gweru we're expecting maximums mostly about 25 for much of this week, slightly rising to 27 for tomorrow, whilst morning temperatures are mostly in the single digits. For Masvingo we're expecting single digit for tomorrow with 9 degrees at first, going to as high as 25 degrees Celsius by afternoon. Mutare morning temperature about 9 degrees, rising to about 25, 27 for Tuesday, but falls to about 24 for Wednesday and Thursday. With Nyangas, but starting off with 5 degrees Celsius, very cold over Nyanga, with chances of ground frost, rising to about 21. And for Marondo, we're expecting minimum of 7 and a maximum of 24. Also 24s for much of this week, with single digits for our minimum. While Sarah is projected to be at 11 in the morning, it rises to about 25. Slight chance of frost here and there, but for Kadoma, we're expecting a maximum of 28 by afternoon, only rising to about 29 on Wednesday, with morning temperatures also in the cool category. Same for Chinori, cool at first, becoming warmer by afternoon with maximum of 29. 29 also for Victoria Falls is 29 for much of the week, with slight 30s on Tuesday and Wednesday, whilst Lupane is cold in the morning with about 9 degrees, going as high as 30 for much of this week. And for Bindura, expecting mostly 28 for the first few days, falling to about 24 and 25 as we close the week. And for Karibu, expecting mostly 29s for much of this week, rather mild by morning with mostly 16s and a maximum of 30. That's on Wednesday. That's it from the weather and forecast in Place Zimbabwe. I'm James Koma Jr. for the night.
That's Sunday edition for tonight. Thank you for giving us your time. Until we meet again, hopefully next week, Leah.
Well, pleasant viewing. Good night.
Good night.